Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So I allow this to completely dry and I'm just gonna bring it up closer, and I am not against using a heating tool, you guys. I do use them, but I also love when things just dry naturally because it just gives it a more luscious look. And like, see, when I have puddles over here, it just dries in a different way because when I have the heating tool, the air is gonna push all the puddles, and it just I mean, I do use it, so I'm not like saying I'm against heating tools. It's just that I do have a preference a lot of times to let things dry naturally. But anyways, I have been journaling a little bit more, and I have been kind of thinking about where I want this piece to go. And I have to tell you that right away, like, I haven't done anything more to this piece, but I'm really, really loving it. Like, even as is, I love the graphic quality of this black and white paper here. It just gives it so much interest, especially next to the red. Like, I really love the way it's next to each other like that. It just is so bold. But anyways, I just also wanted to say that I do not always work this way where I'm getting so deep into everything. Like, I have journals, like say my color journal, for example, where I was just experimenting with color. Like, it was just playful and fun. I mean, I was learning. I mean, you're always going to be learning no matter what you do, but I didn't really go too deep, like, into the layers of symbolism, etc., etc. But sometimes I do want to work really deep, and you know, like the Walt Whitman poem, and he says, very well then, I am large, I contain multitudes. So if you want to work deep, then work deep. If you want to not go so deep, then do that. Like, you know, nobody should restrict you from doing whatever you wanted to do. But I know that working, you know, this deep is not going to be for everybody, but I am really, really super interested in learning how to use my collage to express deeper emotions and beliefs and you know, just symbology, etc. And this is coming directly from my painted ladies over here, and also my healing ancestral trauma art journal. And also because of the medial woman, I made that video about the medial woman. I'm also wanting my collage to be like the medial woman, you know, just like color is, and bring forth pieces of information, you know, etc., etc. So anyways, I'm just gonna dive right in here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of like you know, flesh out the figure a little bit, and just kind of bring back some of the lines that got lost with the background there, like when I was doing the background. Now I really want to leave the dress part just like it is, and I think it's gonna contrast really well with all the layers of the face, because this is just like what I laid down initially. I didn't put anything over top of it because the tea bag is on the neck, and you can see the line that's going to be the neckline for the dress. That is the bottom part of the tea bag. So I'm just gonna kind of like just build up my face, but I don't want to cover up the collage. At least that's my hope. I mean, if I do cover up the collage, it's going to be very, very like little bits and pieces, but I want that collage to really stay like right till the end. So see, I'm gonna see, I just said I didn't want to cover up the collage, and here I am covering up the collage, but I just want to kind of see, like, you know, what kind of effect, because this burnt sienna ink, it is transparent. So if I do put it over top, it is going to still show through. And what I've learned, you guys, is every time I say I'm not gonna do something, I go and do it. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'll say, oh, I'm not gonna you know, obsess about this face, and then I'll start obsessing about the face. So I don't know. But anyways, let me just kind of start building things up here. Now I'm gonna be careful not to put the chalk paint over top of this black and white paper, because the chalk paint is very opaque and it's got really great covering power actually. Just as an aside, the chalk paint. And you guys, because I have been asked, the chalk paint that I use is a Waverly brand of chalk paint, and I just buy it from, actually, if you go to Walmart and go to the craft section, it comes in 3 sizes. So there's the 16-ounce bottle, and that is about $14, and it lasts for a really long time, even though I use it a lot. And then there is the 8-ounce bottle right there, and that's about, I want to say it's about $8. And because I use the cashew color a lot more, I buy it in a bigger size than the ink. And then it also comes in a very small, like a sample size almost, and that's only like, I want to say it's like $2, and it's a very small bottle. It's like 2 ounces. But if you just want to try it out and you don't want to buy a big bottle, and I swear you guys that the chalk paint is one of the reasons I think that my pages don't stick in my art journal, combined with the Mod Podge that I use. It is matte, it's not glossy, because I had my pages stick really badly where I couldn't salvage anything, and this was many years ago. So I started researching all this stuff, and then I switched from glossy matte, like glossy glue, to matte glue. And I also accidentally kind of started using my chalk paint at the same time, so I don't know if it's a combination of those two things together, the matte glue with the chalk paint, that's made my pages stop sticking in my art journal. And if you've ever had your pages stick in your art journal where you couldn't salvage it, you know what a terrible situation that is, because you just can't do anything with it because it's just completely stuck. Like, you can't even use it for collage or anything. So yeah. So I'm just kind of building up the face here. And you guys, this whole 100-day project, like, even though I set certain parameters, like when I started it, you know, those parameters might change obviously as I go along, because I might want to learn different things. And this is a good example of, like, now I want my collage to like, you know, to express more emotions and stuff like that. And when I did my 100-day project mixed media portraits before this, I wasn't really kind of wanting that. Like, I wasn't looking at that aspect of it. Now I do want to keep some of the red here. I don't want to cover it up. So I've got to kind of see how I'm gonna do this. And I really like that blue over there for the cheek. Like, you know, I know, like, blue is not a like the first thing that would come to mind when I think about, like, the colors for a cheek, but I kind of like it there actually. And okay. And I am just gonna build up the nose a little bit here. So you guys, remember when I said, like, you know, when you're doing the hair, to look at patterns rather than a flat color field? That's helpful for actually, like, not just the hair, but it's helpful for anything really, like a sweater, a dress, you know, just everything. Like, if you look at things in terms of, like, shapes and patterns, it really does help. go, and I think I want to put another layer on the background here. And I'm just gonna kind of, I don't know if I'm happy with this gray here, in the sense of I don't know if I want it to remain that gray color, or, well, it is kind of a warm gray. I don't know if I want to make it a little bit more cooler of a gray, just because I want the, you know, the warm colors of the face to really contrast, because this gray is pretty warm. I'm not sure if the camera can pick up on it, but I want it to be just a little bit cooler. And I'm just gonna kind of go like so. And you guys, I'm very pleasantly surprised by how much I just love the collage. Like, I just absolutely, I'm just loving this black and white collage here. It's just, and you know, when I was in Oaxaca, and I think one of the things Connie talked about is, like, if you're having, now I don't know if it was in Oaxaca, you guys. It could have been a class I was taking from her, because I did take a few classes with her, like painting the feminine classes with her. But anyways, she was saying, and I think it was her, that, you know, when you get stuck, like you're just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. If you take a piece of collage and you stick it down on the page, especially a very graphic collage like this, and if you I'm gonna try to see the next time I do a painting the feminine like spread in Connie's book, I'm gonna point it out. But she doesn't use collage very much, I don't think, but when she does, it's this graphic, like type black and white type of thing, like with this just like black and white, very stark. And I think she was talking about how it really does change the whole direction of your piece. Like, it really infuses your piece with new energy, and it really is going to help break up the stagnation. And I do think it was her who said that in one of her classes. I could be wrong, but I took a class, and I remember because I thought about it and I wrote about it in my studio log. Okay, you guys, so I am going to let this completely dry, and I am really loving so much of what is going on here. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave this and just let all of this stuff dry here. And then I will come back and work on it some more. So if you guys have watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.